Look, I'm an expert. I got this popcorn tin. Only an expert on He-Man would get this popcorn tin. Yeah, I'm not buying it either. It's like 15 bucks. I just want to show people that I believe He-Man should get the exact same respect as Spider-Man does. Spider-Man has more to offer as a character per an adaptation. More Spider-Man as a character is more than just great power comes with responsibility. He has his own unique characterizations and view of crime fighting that deserves to be adapted properly. I think He-Man should have the same respect. But I don't have anything to show that I'm passionate about this character. I'm gonna sit down. I just wish I had something that would prove my passion for this character. But I have absolutely nothing. He-Man isn't that hard of a character to get down. He has Conan's looks and styles, Hulk's powers, Captain Marvel's power fantasy, Superman's wisdom and secret identity, Captain America's ability to inspire, Batman's resources, and Spider-Man's responsibility. Together, that all says, together, that all equals He-Man. Of course, this is an oversimplification of the character, but understanding these aspects of the character will be easier for people to understand who aren't familiar with the lore of He-Man. I will prove in this video that this movie contradicts all of this. So let's begin with the opening, with He-Man getting a lesson from Man-at-Arms. It's not particularly important for this video, so I'll skip ahead. He gets chosen to wield a power sword, then he gets sent to Earth. He gets pelted into a lick. I forgot to mention this originally, but Skeletor was attacking. That's why Prince Adam had to leave Eternia. And it turns out He-Man is telling the story to his date. He thinks honesty is the best policy and should just tell his date exactly where he came from. This is naivety. Naive is an adjective used to describe a person who lacks experience, sophistication, or worldly wisdom, often resulting in a tendency to trust others easily, believe in simple explanations, or exhibit innocent and credulity, whatever credulity means. Unintelligent, meaning describe someone or something that does not possess the ability to learn, understand, or make rational decisions. Those two things are not the same. He-Man being intelligent is very important to the character, and I can prove it by this book that's published by Mattel, the Masters of the Universe book. This is published by Mattel and edited by Mattel. So what I read out here is how Mattel wants you to think of He-Man. More specifically, the cartoon version, which is what this movie is supposed to be adapting. It doesn't say a lot about the character, but it's funny that this is one of the few things Mattel wants you to know about He-Man as a character. He-Man often uses his intelligence to solve problems. I only fight when I must, he says, and each time I hope it is the last. This is what Mattel wants you to know about the character. So when I point out how stupid He-Man is in this movie, I don't want people to point out how naive he was in the 2000 X show, which I'll be mentioning a lot because that's the gold standard for He-Man. Prince Adam is stuck at his dead-end job, and he's trying to find the sword he lost when he was a child. Eventually he did. He got a text from a friend and went to a comic book shop and made sure to ask every single person if they had his sword. The sword is in the statue of a barbarian. The barbarian, which was the original concept art for He-Man. Adam gets the sword out of the statue's hand and then holds it up and says, "By the power of Grayskull, I think." Unfortunately, he does not turn into He-Man. Instead, he just gets arrested over it the next morning. As Prince Adam is in the car gets attacked by Beastman. And then Teela comes in and saves He-Man from Beastman. Skip ahead a little bit. He-Man is at the fortress that's in Subternia, which, fun fact, is not hell or the underworld, Kevin Smith. It's just Eternia, but sub. Anyway, he meets the Masters of the Universe. That includes Fisto, Mossman, Mechanic, and somebody else I'm forgetting. Prince Adam acts like a total idiot and calls Fisto Fisto, which in this universe is not his nickname or call sign of the Masters of the Universe. It's just a name Prince Adam came up with. Everybody laughs at that because military operations never have call signs. So stupid. I'm so sick of this crap. The problem with this is that it removes the whole inspirational Captain America angle from He-Man. These names should be inspiring. They should be an honor. These characters should get these names similar to how pilots and snipers get their call signs. In the original cartoon, they never made fun of the names. It was like Adam West Batman. It was so unaware, it was self-aware. I will use the 2000X cartoon as an example of how this should be handled. Mechanic felt self-conscious in the episode about his powers. He just felt subconscious that it wasn't making him a great master of the universe. It was about wanting to be a great warrior, and he learned that his power makes him a great warrior. But Mechanic didn't realize, it's so stupid, but I guess it's okay to be kind of stupid. But remember, it's still stupid. It's still stupid. This is stupid. Don't you guys think this is so stupid? It's so stupid! It's so stupid! It's so stupid! He-Man is not about fourth wall meta commentary. Look at how stupid this is, but I guess it's kind of cool. It's earnest. Purely earnest. In the 2000X cartoon, Mechanic's journey was not self-aware, it was earnest. Earnest about heroicism. There's nothing earnest about making fun of the names. And while all this is happening, Prince Adam never asks, how does my sword work? That seems useful. He's supposed to be intelligent. Skeletor magically finds the secret base and attacks. The Masters of the Universe go off to fight, and they leave Prince Adam, Teela, and Man-at-Arms and Roboto to fend for themselves, to fight against Trapjaw. He-Man acts like an idiot and tries to convince Trapjaw to not fight them. Why is he trying to talk it out like an HR person? He hates being an HR. He gave up his job to become the most powerful man in the universe, and now he has that opportunity. He does everything he can to avoid becoming the most powerful man in the universe until his hand is forced. They fight against Trapjaw. He-Man does his heroic line, "By the power of Grayskull," and now it works. Great. So he fights Trapjaw, and how does he win? He just does. People make fun of him about how bad he is at fighting, and then he just gets better. And there are little things that happen, like he punches Trapjaw and he shakes his hand. This is supposed to be the most powerful man in the universe. And He-Man does not win through intelligence. He just wins. So he just wins, and then they run off. He-Man and Prince Adam act the exact same way when the ship takes off. This is supposed to be the most powerful man in the universe. Then Triclops is behind them in the Roton. I think it's Triclops, I don't remember. He-Man gets on the sky sled and he reverses back into the ship. Say this with me now, everybody. He's really bad at using the sky sled until he isn't. Just because that's how the movie works. Anyway, they defeat Triclops and then they land. He-Man helps Teela. They start talking more about how much they missed each other. And then Teela friend-zones him. Teela friend-zones He-Man. Will not entertain any comments saying He-Man was always gay. No, if you think this is gay, you are perverted. You need to get your mind out of the gutter if you think this is anything other than pure, wholesome masculinity. And if you disagree, you're projecting your gayness onto the character. People like you are the reason we need to open up mental asylums again. Alright, and then Skeletor does the whole, I don't know, hologram Star Wars thing, but bigger in the sky. Skeletor says, "Hey man, I got your father. Come here and give up your sword." Then He-Man's like, "I'm gonna kill Skeletor." Anyway, they arrive at Snake Mountain, and He-Man uses intelligence for once and tricks the guards to think that he's actually there to give up the sword. And then there's a really cool fight scene. I just wish there was He-Man in this He-Man action scene. Skeletor knocks He-Man out with his Havoc Staff. Most powerful man in the universe. He-Man is in a cell with the Masters of the Universe, and he inspires everybody by putting himself down. Look, Shadversity changed my mind on this scene. In the movie, he immediately goes to his HR thing, and I originally thought he inspired everybody by using HR, but as Shadversity pointed out, he didn't inspire everybody, and everybody didn't click with it until he started speaking their language. But still, he built everybody up by putting himself down. He-Man needs to be the inspiration for Eternia. And I don't like He-Man going to HR first, because early on in this movie, he did everything he can to get out of the job he hates. So He-Man still goes to HR for no reason besides character assassination of this version of He-Man and every other version of He-Man. Okay, so the final confrontation. Everybody breaks out, all working together. He-Man goes off, he gets the power sword, and then he fights Skeletor. And then he gets stabbed by Skeletor. And then he has a vision. The sorcerer says, "The power was always with you all the time." Not in Grayskull. That's kind of the whole point of Grayskull. The problem with this, he's just the chosen one for the sake of being the chosen one. You don't see why he's the right person. This is one of the few scenes I like. He-Man breaks free. He has the power of Grayskull. And then he runs Skeletor. It's like, "Holt, I don't want to fight. I want to talk things out." And Skeletor's like, "No." So then he beats the crap out of him, and then he kills Skeletor. I just wish everything around it was good. And I don't know, maybe he beat him through intelligence or something. Or maybe he had some cool one-liners like He-Man does. Then the movie ends, and as everybody's gathered around in Eternia, and Prince Adam is an idiot who thinks everybody doesn't know he's actually He-Man. And everybody laughs at him and makes fun of him. Prince Adam goes off to change to become He-Man. Alright, I think I already did a pretty good job at explaining why this is a terrible adaptation of the character of He-Man. But I am going to cover the biggest counterpoint. More like the biggest pile of bullcrap. Counterpoint I keep hearing over and over again is, I don't care if the movie was a bad adaptation. It did a good job because it wasn't woke. Let's keep the exact same argument, but let's remove and replace the topic of the argument. I don't care if, because that's the main argument. Now let's replace the topic with this. I don't care if I transfused the wrong blood type. I did a good job because the blood wasn't diseased. Now, I haven't heard this argument just with woke. There are 2 more examples that will be flashing on your screen. But the point is, you can say you like it because it's funny. You can say you liked it because you thought the messaging was good. But do not lie to me and say this was a good adaptation of He-Man. I was thinking about adding this to the beginning of the video, but I think it'll be funnier if I just shoehorn this in the conclusion. I forgot that one of the key aspects of He-Man's character is his secret identity. The fact that Prince Adam is a front. He really isn't a doofus. He's tricking everybody. And that adds a bit of the tragedy to the character because he wants to be a hero. Shoehornception! Let's go! I'm shoehorning over my other shoehorning because I think it's funny. I meant that I forgot to put in the video, not that I forgot it was a part of the character. Well, at least I didn't forget to add it in my adaptation of He-Man. He just made his false, incompetent alter ego his actual personality. That's why he's a complete idiot throughout this entire movie. It's complete bullcrap. Anyway, like, comment, and subscribe, or don't. I don't care. I mean, I would like it, but, like, I don't want to be one of those people to push. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe if you want, or don't. You have free will.